Craig Hodges will match up against Michael Jordan. Remember, the top four advance. Craig Hodges this year shooting 48% from three-point land. And as we look at both of these compete at the same time, there's Michael Jordan. Doug is going to be following Craig Hodges, who he coached last year in Chicago. And Steve Jones is going to be keeping a close eye on Michael Jordan. 60 seconds to shoot. There are 5 racks, 5 balls on a rack. We're underway.
Craig Hodges loves his corner shot. Usually he really gets off to a good start.
Jordan missed his first 2, and now he's warmed up, and I think, just the fact that this is new competition for us.
Craig Hodges hitting 3 corners, including the 2-point ball. Craig Hodges on a roll now, hitting 4 in a row. Craig 5 in a row from the spot.
Craig performed here earlier today for some school kids that was on fire at that time. It seems to still be on it right now. 28 seconds remaining.
Well, Jordan has really struggled in his first 2 racks, and he's going to have to really bury the next 2 in order to get into it. He has missed and missed almost every one and hasn't gotten a red, white, or blue ball down.
It's 15-4. Craig Hodges early on.
Well, Craig is filling it up right now. I mean, if he stays in this kind of rhythm, he is going to be awfully tough to beat. He loves those corners again. He has 5 seconds to get 3 more shots up. He has not made one now from the left side.
Well, Jordan struggled the entire rack. He only ended up with 5 going in, and it was a tough first time around for Michael Jordan. You see the look on his face, and remember, I tell you, experience in this competition is really a key.
And Craig Hodges takes a great deal of pride in this competition. He was a finalist last year. He has 20 points. Jordan has 5 points.
Well, Craig Hodges was sensational. The 2 spots.
All right, Black Tree TV Sports. Today I got a special treat for you. I got 4-time NBA champion, assistant Laker coach, and a man that's been active in the community since way before this stuff even started.
Yes, sir.
A guy that I'm honored to be with, Mr. Craig Hodges.
Oh, brother, it's always good to be with you. Peace and blessings always.
All right, so it's almost Christmas times, and one of the best treats about Christmas times to me is watching basketball at the crib and just chilling with the family and being able to do that. And this year we got Lakers versus Heat. You know
Absolutely.
What I'm saying? So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with this game. I mean, first of all, Lakers coming off of another championship run and just getting back from the White House and now playing like one of the East contenders. I won't say all around favorite because the Celtics still in the East, but. How have the Lakers been? How have the Lakers been coming off their championship run this season, and how are they, preparing for?
Well, all in all, I think so far we've done pretty good, but I think we still have a lot of work to do in as far as chemistry is concerned. We came out of the blocks pretty good, got out to 8-0 starting in. We lost like 3 or 4 in a row, and I think what that did was wake us up to the idea of it's a daily grind, and you can't rest on what you've done in the past, and that the fact that you won 2 doesn't mean that you're going to win the 3rd. But likewise, when you're talking about the Christmas Day game, for me it's something that we've done, as long as I can remember, is that, like you say, hang around with the family, watch a good game on Sunday, and being a part of it is something special, especially when you talk about LeBron versus Kobe, the Heat versus the Lakers, and supposedly, hopefully, the 2 finalists.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Lakers this year just got back Andrew Bynum, who's just coming off an injury, and I hear there's been a trade with Sasha Vujic. How do you think?
I think if that went, I don't know if it went through up to this point, but I think it would be good both for Sasha and the Lakers. It'll give Sasha an opportunity to go play somewhere, get some minutes, and at the same time, right now we're struggling a little bit up front in as far as our numbers are concerned. So Joe Smith is a quality ball player. He's from a big-time program. He's been around the league for a minute, so he understands professionalism. And coming to our team, I think it would only lend itself to him being able to come in and fit in and be a good component for us.
How is back-to-back championships as a coach as opposed to a player? I mean, because I know you did back-to-back as a player yourself. Is it the same thing about being hungry as a coach or as a player?
I think it's a different vibration. I think as a player, you're more involved from the standpoint of knowing that you had an actual impact. As a coach, you have more of a stand back position, in as far as knowing that some of the stuff that you implement, you see, like as far as, especially for me being a shooting coach, I see some of the stuff I work on with guys, and then when you see them make shots, then you know that you've done what you're supposed to do as a coach. But all in all, I think it's a gratifying experience to know that you're part of something that's continuing to build a legacy. And I think when you can win both as a player and a coach, you've been blessed. So my biggest thing now is to see how I can teach the next generation of player and shooter.
The team like the Lakers that has a lot of veterans coming back, that's been with the organization for years,
Right.
is that organization, I mean, it seems that they have an advantage over organizations that have all these new players every year. Is it, you know, going to the next year, is it more just about refining and doing stuff like that?
And see, that's the beautiful part. If you know, when I tell people all the time, systems win championships. And you look at San Francisco 49ers, you look at the Yankees, you look at the Lakers, you look at the Bulls. Championships are won by systems. And if you have players who are veteran players, they understand your system. So it's not as hard to adjust from year to year when new players come into your system, as opposed to different teams on the outside looking in, trying to figure out what is the chemistry to win a championship. So a lot of things that other teams have to do, and as far as adjustments, we don't have to make early in the season. So I think it lends itself to you getting the chemistry going early and a good rhythm going early, and you can ride through All-Star break going into the second half of the season pretty much in a position where you know you're ready to attack for the postseason.
I see players, you know, even I've had the opportunity to cover practice a couple times with you guys, and I've seen players like Sasha Vujacic, you know, come up big last year in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I know that the year before, like people was questioning his shots he was taking and stuff like that, and you see Shannon Brown getting more developed. How rewarding is that? Even though you're coaching and in the background, how rewarding is it to see players like develop and get more?
No question about it. And like Shannon, I've been watching Shannon since he was a sophomore in high school. So to see his development, I tell people all the time, the next 3 or 4 years, he's going to be one of the top guards in the league. And it's just a matter of him getting his minutes, him understanding what experience is about, and being able to do his thing in the manner of knowing that I'm going to be out here to play. And the same thing with Sasha last year, and as well as Trevor Ariza, who had an opportunity to make some money because of what he did in the postseason. So I think it's gratifying from the standpoint that you see guys improve, and at the same time you can be part of a winning thing. That's the biggest thing. It's all about winning.
Let's get a little bit into Lakers Heat, because we've heard a lot of players, talk about their playing days and say the move is kind of I guess unique in a way. Is like that we didn't see Jordan go play with Larry Bird, but he did have had you and Scotty and a lot of other great supporters supporting players with him, so it wasn't just him. But do you think like that move is just something that could have just happened today?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Back in the day, it wasn't, and I think this generation has become a little more sophisticated than we were. They understand marketing. They understand the magnitude of you only have a short period of time before your window is closed on your opportunity, so make the most of it. So I wasn't really upset with the way in which LeBron did his thing, but I think it could have been a little bit better for the people in Cleveland to have known a little bit earlier that he wasn't coming back. And I think that would have made the road a little bit smoother for his post-playing days, because regardless to what we want to say as far as the sport is concerned, the impact that he had on Cleveland proper, I think in Akron, Ohio, is something that's going to be it's going to be missed, sorely missed. And I think the anger and resentment that they have for him right now, hopefully it'll calm itself down and time will heal that. But I think that was something that to me, that hurt me more than anything, was the fact that the separation happened the way it did. But at the same time, the young man understood it's about getting your money when you can get your money. He went to a place where it's tax-free dollars, no income tax in Florida. So I think he made the decision that was good for he and his family. And we can't argue with that, because as athletes and entertainers, you're your own product, and you only have a period of time. And while the water is hot for you, go ahead and make as much as you can, for as long as you can.
Right. But one thing about the move is a lot of people, as soon as it happened, just kind of gave them this unproven team the ring. And I guess what I want to ask, I mean, I'm not sure all about Spoelstra's background, but I know you being with Tex Winter and Phil Jackson, you've seen a lot of NBA championships, and some stuff has to come down to the coaching. Do you think, even with all this talent, that they'll be prepared for the playoffs?
That's another thing when you talk about the legacy of a Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, and that's, to me, I think Pat is coming, but that's nothing for bulletin board fodder or anything, but I think it's just a matter of time before it happens. Even if Spoelstra wins a championship, I think Pat would still like to get a chance to coach that crew. And anyone would who's a coach, because you have tremendous talent that has been brought together. But at the same time, I think a lot of it was on paper, and a lot of it is still to be determined. They're on a nice little streak right now, but I think it's one of those things where as the season starts to get smaller, and as far as games are concerned, I think that's when I start to look, I don't look at anything prior to All-Star break. We start looking after All-Star break when you're down to 20 games left. Now you start to see teams maneuvering to get guys where they get enough rest to be going into the playoffs strong. And I'd say that's where we have a little leg up on most teams, is that we can make our adjustments throughout the season and rest people. Like now with Andrew coming back, first game back, Powell goes from playing 39 minutes to 29. So if you can take off 10 minutes a game for the next 20 games, you're talking about those minutes being able to be used in the playoffs, and that's heavy for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a player, I mean, you play with, all-time greats, and now you have the opportunity to coach all-time greats. I know, like, a lot of people said that Kobe, when he came out, was trying to be like a mini-me Jordan. Right. But comparing their work ethic and everything that they put in the game, do you see any similarities?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's to me, when I worked hard in the game, but at the same time, you don't know what guys are doing when you're not around them. Mm-hmm. So the amount of work that MJ was putting in beyond what I was putting in was magnified once I saw what it was. So as far as looking at what Kobe does, man, there's nobody that works any harder than he does in the game, and I think the results are there for themselves. And couple that with being in a great system, I think it's going to be hard to beat, man.
You one of the purest shooters of all time. I mean, you still hold records of, three-time three-point championship winner that you share with Larry Bird, but you got the most consecutive 3 points and the most points in a round. I mean, you're right up there with, nobody could kind of question, your shot. Like, where did you develop, that shot? And was it always something natural, like, or what work ethic did you have to do to have that?
For me, it started with a ball of socks and a hanger over a doorway when I was 4 years old. My uncle taught me how to basically look at your target and start smaller and you move up. And the amount of shots I put up from the time I was probably 5th grade until I was end of my professional career, I don't think anybody shot any more than I did. Maybe Bird, but I don't think, and even to this day, I usually, when I'm in the gym, I can get up anywhere between 300 and 400 shots still. So right now,
still knocking them down.
Oh, come on, man. There's no reason to shoot if you're not going to make them. We're not just shooting, we're making them. So the mindset for me has always been, you can always improve. And you never take a shot for granted. Even though you know it's going in. Like I tell people, I talk to Shannon about this all the time, is that even though we know the ball is going in, we still have to do those fundamentals required to get the ball to the basket. You're not going to think the ball into movement. You have to make the movements that are proper. And then once you let it go, relax into your follow-through and just watch the results. And that's for me, that was the most beautiful part of the game, is to be able to get yourself in the zone where you know your ball is going in the basket every time you shot it.
I got this theory, this day and age, we have all this video game and this new generation of kids. Do you think, like, the way, I grew up on the courts, and I had put up a tenth of the minutes that you put up, but you know what I'm saying, but do you think people like this day and age do that now? Like, because I don't see the people at the playgrounds as much.
And see, it's the difference in the game now, is that it's commercial from elementary school. So you have 5th and 6th graders now whose family are saying they're the best 5th and 6th graders in America, and you're saying, whoa, don't you want them to be the best 12th grader or the best college player? That right now the commercialism and the marketing of the game is such that when you're in junior high school, you know the AAU team and travel team to play for that has the biggest notoriety and the most notoriety. So once you do that, as opposed to you working out with your teammates and the people that you're going to play with in high school, and even working on your own fundamental weaknesses. You're working on winning games so that your exposure is more by colleges, shoe companies, and the like. So that now most players aren't thinking about going to school to get a degree. So they knew that they was going to have to put in time on the court in order to get a scholarship. It's one and done. Everybody has a one and done mentality, and that one and done mentality lends itself to the marketing end of things. So you have big corporations who are sweetheart deals with 16, 17-year-old children whose parents aren't involved enough to know what's going on, aren't sophisticated enough to know. So it's one of those things where the game has changed to such a degree that the players are now sophisticated to the point of what their own marketability is. And I think it's sad for the game because it takes away from work habits and work ethic.
You said a lot with that one. You said a lot with that one.